one of my favorite comedians, Mr. Helgi! Woo!
I'm gonna shake your hand there, Rich.
Woo! Like the comedy store. High five!
Nice to see the Charlie's doing his work. Oh, Reg, you're so English. Only you could, in one single breath, blame hipsters for ISIS and then call it carte blanche. So we're talking about Spagball, right? This is all wrong, isn't it? Hello, everybody. This is nice. Wow, I don't even need to say how are we doing, because usually when we say how are we doing, we're like over the last few months it's been like 3 people. It's been like me and Reg. One time it was just me and Reg taking turns on just talking to nobody. Seriously, like the security camera just saw us, like it was like a really sad version of Poltergeist. It was just like, so what's the deal with the thing? I just want to be famous. Well, this is great. It's just grown a lot. It's been about what, 4 months since I came here first?
Yeah.
This is cool. I like this. I like to see like small little comedy venues growing up, kind of taking hold and people showing up to them. Unlike the Fringe, where we just kind of do shows and nobody comes. We just end up rambling like madmen. We're drunk already, and this is fun. How you guys doing tonight? You having a good time?
Yeah.
You guys enjoy Reg? Reg is a fucking... Give it up for Reg. Reg is a fucking great... He is... I've been doing stand-up comedy for a little while now, but I'm glad to have Reg to kind of, guide me and tell me, the things that I'm doing right, doing wrong and stuff. And it's good to have, you kind of like, you feel like you're in the mob, Especially with Reg, he just shows up like wearing a trench coat, he's got that gray hair like a badass silver fox motherfucker, he's packing heat under. Alright, Helgi, we're going to Glasgow. We're just doing comedy. Yeah, sure. We're just doing comedy. A lot of people would ask me, like, since I came here, why did you move to Scotland in the first place? I actually came here to try to, to bring my comedy game to Scotland. I wanted to try to make it here in comedy. A decision that went very well with my whole family. They're like, no, Helgi, you will stay in Iceland and make Viking babies with your cousins. No, Dad!
Are you sure you're not from Minnesota?
I'll get to that.
You can still make babies with your cousin out there, right?
That's a very American-Mexican accent you have there. Sí o no? ¿Es verdad? Es verdad, sí. No, it's just because we're related. But anything that's cold is just, we'll find relation to that.
That's why you're here.
I'll get to that as well. Holy shit, what was going on with that? Like, I was watching the Sky News last week. Like, I thought the world was coming to an end. Turns out it just snowed a little bit. As an Icelander, I love what passes for a snowstorm in this country. Holy shit! It's like I turn on the TV, there's like cars flipping over. Lorries flipped up on the fucking bridge, and it's like this is a country that survived like the German Blitz and the IRA, but God forbid they had cans of snow with them. Good God. But I think it would be really cool to make one of those like disaster movies, like ironic, like Airplane from the 70s, only it's just London with a bit of snow. No one thought the day would come. Yeah, it's a bit nippy out, isn't it? Then all of a sudden there's like a, little girl saying to her mommy, like, Mommy, everyone said at school that there's going to be a snow day tomorrow. No, baby, it's England. It doesn't snow here. All right then. And they're watching the news, the families huddled together. It's like, meteorologists from around the UK are now saying the temperatures could drop to a staggering 2 degrees. This can't be accurate, Prime Minister. I'm telling you right now that if you don't act immediately, the entire city of London will be covered within an inch of snow. Oh my God. Snowmageddon. What do we do now, Mummy? We pray. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about Iceland or some shit. Yeah, I know. A lot of people ask me, like, since I came here, like, why did you move to Scotland? You know, but I actually, better so I actually did move here because of a girl. It's usually a lot cuter when I do this bit in front of my girlfriend's friends. Like, she's actually sitting right there. There you go. I mean, I definitely do think that I made the right choice. I've been here 4 months, and I've definitely enjoyed my time here. I definitely say she was worth the move. I mean, she's a great girl. Although I do have to admit that, you know, like everybody, she kind of has her faults. For example, she is English. But that's all right though, because you know, I'm Icelandic, and well, there's one thing Iceland's good at. It's fucking the English. She hates it when I do that during sex. No, I'm just kidding. She's English. She doesn't have sex. Exactly. I just told her about Star Wars. She's already using the Force. Fuck you! My girlfriend actually lived here for 4 years in Edinburgh, so she's always like trying to, really excited to take me all these places. You know, she's like, come on, babes, come on, let's go. I was just from the Midlands, so it's like a really, oh, do you know what I mean? So, come on, babe, let's go, I want to take you. Come on, it's bonfire night. I'm like, babes, come on. We live in Leith. Trust me, we don't need to wait until the 5th of November to see shit on fire. Just pop your head out the window. I'm sure there's a couple of Neds setting our bus stop in flames. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to understand what Scottish people are saying. So I decided to get a job at a bar. The first week I was working here, or I was in Scotland, where Scotsmen are not only incomprehensible, but drunk as well. It was a fun experience. I gotta say though, you know, 4 months of working there, I can now watch Trainspotting without subtitles. That's gotta count for something. Like, so my girlfriend works at Build-A-Bear, and she's always telling me, you know, what it's like working with children.
I heard someone laugh at Build-A-Bear. I won't say about that. It's a great profession.
I know. You sell sex toys for furries. That's what.
It was one guy.
One guy. Hi. Oh, you making a bear for your daughter? Yeah. Can you make a hole on the back? You wouldn't be laughing that hard if that wasn't actually a true story. Should have done it. I mean, that takes balls, I gotta say. See, that's an actual threat. But it's so weird, like I mean, it's such a contradiction, because Scottish people everywhere are so happy, except for in these, like, day drinking pubs. Because the pub I work at is one of those, like, old man pubs, so everyone's miserable as fuck. And it's such a contradiction. Like, nothing cheers these people up. Like, for example, Christmas, the happiest time of the year. We were putting up the Christmas decorations a month before the actual holidays kicked in. You would have thought I would have taken their pension checks, ripped them up, thrown them, lit them on fire, and pissed on the ashes. They were like, I was bringing out a Christmas tree. He's like, hey, what are you doing with that shite? Can you not see I'm already contemplating suicide? But, I mean, they're like children. I mean, they are literally adult children. I think this is why people think it's okay to bring children into pubs in the first place. And look, I don't care how long I'm going to live in the UK, but that is one thing I will never understand, how people bring children into pubs. It's okay. Huh?
Get them started early.
Sure. I guess that's one way to think of it. Hey, they have food. As long as my infant is fed, I can get shit-faced. Right?
Whiskey and their gums together.
Really? Now every place around you. No. In Newcastle, we just get tequila straight up from Mommy Geordie.
My mum had ouzo.
Huh?
My mum had ouzo. Yep.
See? Cultured families as well. You know? We can go to Greece. We'll go to...
Exactly.
When did you start? It's like a support group. When did you start? Well, we were 3. It was crazy. My dad just wanted beer, but my mom was like, no, you need some culture. We went to France, and before I knew it, I was sucking on red wine in Bordeaux. It was great. What happened then? Kindergarten. But I mean, I wouldn't mind it if they didn't complain about it after. So, because part of my job at the pub was like reading all the TripAdvisor comments and like emailing them back to see like, oh, is there anything we can do to improve the next time you come? Because it'd be like these 26, 27-year-old parents who really just can't accept the fact that they can't go partying anymore. So they just go to pubs anyway and then complain about it afterwards. It's like, you're at a pub in Scotland. Yes, the F word is going to be uttered every now and then. And you read these like long articles, like, all I wanted was just a nice Sunday afternoon meal with my family. So we thought it would be a good idea to take our 1-year-old to a depressing cesspool of divorced middle-aged alcoholics. And it was not the family-friendly experience I had hoped for. There was swearing and yelling and there was piss everywhere. And in fact, this whole experience has made me question whether or not I should actually bring my child into a pub in the first place. Signed, Gemma, Newcastle. That was just for you guys. I should probably talk about my Minnesota accent, shouldn't I? At this point, yeah, you've been dying. Like, come on, this is not how Icelandic people. Icelanders talk like this. You heard that, like my father, he talks like this, and everybody who does not know English, he talks like this as well. All right, so she only knows like if she visited my family this summer. Hello, Sarah, how are you? Welcome to Iceland. We are Vikings. Yes, have some food. Yes, here you sleep. Sleep or Simba. Go on, die in. Yes. She's just, it's like Vietnam flashbacks. Here, eat this. What is it? Sheep's head. I don't know. It is kind of nice being back in the West. I was living. This probably didn't come up during my set. I was living in China for the last 4 years. That was actually where I started doing comedy, which is where we met.
We all made mistakes.
Yeah, we all did. It's the expat life. You get drunk. We have a little too much rice wine. You know what happens. Before that's Japan. Everyone makes that mistake.
I know where this is already.
You were in China. I love sushi. Have you seen Karate Kid? That's just my dad, and I call him like every day. No, but what's really cool about doing comedy in a country like China is, like, obviously you can't, it's not the same as doing comedy here. Like, for example, here, if you're not funny on stage, you just don't get a laugh. China, you just get arrested. But I mean, it's really cool because you get to see like all different kinds of people doing stand-up comedy. Like, I saw like Russians doing stand-up comedy. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, seriously, in all honesty, if you had asked me like 4 years ago what Russian stand-up comedy looked like, I'd be like, what do they talk about? Do you not hate it when mother is making borscht soup and then bear come and kill her? Serious, well, what this deal? Besides, that's not even physically possible. Oh, come on, we're not going to think you're weird. Besides, being weird is Japan's job. Listen, I know that sounds kind of off, but I've lived in Asia for 4 years. I can definitely tell you, being weird is fucking Japan's job. You guys have seen the kinds of TV shows they put on. The kinds of shit they put on TV. Like, Japan's idea for a game show is having people have sex with a wall in between them so they can't see each other. And some, like, animatronic Godzilla tickling them in the ass the whole time. There's confetti blowing everywhere. And a game show host is jumping around. Yatta, yatta, yatta! It's like, what the fuck? And then the guy finishes, and then they lift the wall up, and it's your sister! How do you even win at that game? Guys, you've been great. Thank you guys so much.